Bulaihe Tavwa, we love Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Bulaminaka, I'm Linda Form, a student Suva. I love listening to Today FM because they play latest music and they rock.
Hi, my name is Osnate. I'm from Ba. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Bula, I'm a curator from Nandi. We love listening to Today FM. Here in Nandi, it rocks.
Hi, I'm Shania. I'm from Lotoka and I love Today FM and it rocks.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
In the news tonight, Let's Think Future says Mbaini Marama. Man appears in court over woman's death. And complying companies to provide shipping services.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Spate.
The importance of building for the future was today stressed by the Prime Minister Vurenge Bainimarama during the 5th Pacific Urban Forum in Nandi. Bainimarama told participants present that too often development in the region has focused on cheap short-term fixes rather than well-considered and long aspirations. Philippe Naikaso with the details.
Prime Minister Vurenge Bainimarama today stating the fact of reality that populations will continue to grow and urban areas are projected to grow even faster.
We need to cater for that development by considering all development under national master plans that not only address our urgent challenges today, but that consider long-term trends within our economies.
The Prime Minister also stressing the importance of not leaving out or forgetting those in the informal settlements.
In Fiji today, we are righting that historic injustice by handing over 99-year leases to squatter families on land they've called home for decades. I've officiated at several of these title handovers. I've met personally with many of these families. I've seen the tears of joy. I've heard firsthand how their lives have been changed for the better. But I guess what has stayed with me most vividly is hearing the dreams these families now aspire to achieve after finally being granted the level of ownership over their communities.
Bainimarama says the onus is on leaders in government and the private sectors to ensure that when people make the move to towns or cities, they are supported and well looked after.
For these families, security is tenuous and life difficult. The lack of tenure has left them shackled by uncertainty and isolated from mainstream development. And planning for the future is all but impossible.
He adds that by recognizing these expenditures today, they will spare the future generations for paying or fixing these mistakes. The forum will end tomorrow. Philippe Naikaso, FBC News.
A 23-year-old man accused of murdering his 19-year-old partner has been remanded in custody. Suliasi Fuata is alleged to have stabbed Salanieta Lemba in Doloi Suva last Friday. Fuata appeared before Nasinu magistrate Charles Ratakele this morning. The matter has been transferred to the Suva High Court to be called on July 12th. Fuata is represented by Legal Aid. Interlink Shipping will begin servicing the route to Kandavo tonight following the detainment of Gaunda shipping vessels which used to service this route. The Maritime Safety Authority has confirmed that it has met with compliant shipping companies to discuss alternate services to routes that were previously serviced by Gaunda Shipping. Lena Rees with the story.
MSF has maintained that Gaunda shipping vessels will remain detained until it complies with the Maritime Safe Ships Management Regulation 2014.
We have 14 companies that have complied, and with Gaunda shipping in particular, the impacted routes. We have also had meetings with the respective compliant companies to cover these routes. So services will continue to be provided in these routes until the Gaunda shipping company can come up and comply to the regulations.
Interlink Shipping Services that owns the vessels MV Westerland and MV Queen of Melbourne are bringing in another vessel to help cater other routes affected.
Third one will be arriving on Friday, coming from Japan, which will be also servicing from Suva to Savu Taviuni.
Gaunda Shipping provides services to Savu and Taviuni twice a week and weekly services to Kandavo, Ngau, Koro, Vanomba, Lavu and Vivia in the Lau Group. It also services once a month
to Rotuma and Yasaya Samoala. Lina Rees, FBC News.
When leaders have nothing better to offer the people, they use the race card to say irresponsible things. This is the statement made by political activist and Fiji Women's Crisis Centre coordinator Shamima Ali as she strongly opposed the comments of Vulangi made by the Tuivakau Ratanaingama Lalambalavu. Ali Kimbia with the story.
Ratu Naingama during Sodelpa's AGM labelled NFP and FLP as the party of the Vulangi, and this comment has been strongly condemned by political activist Shamima Ali.
For anyone in that position, it's highly irresponsible. It's highly irresponsible and, also comes from a place of lack of knowledge and understanding of people, of the peoples of this country. So I would say that it is, not at all, it is not in good taste and it can do a lot of harm.
Ali says Ratu Naingama should be responsible for his comments, as not all Sodelpa members support the comments.
If an individual from that party has done that, then we should be looking at that individual rather than painting the whole party in that way. I'm sure there are people within Sodelpa who don't think, many people within Sodelpa who don't think this way.
Hope Party leader Tupon Ranindalo has also come out saying the comments by Ratu Naingama is insulting.
Well, Vulangi means guest, as we all know. Guest is transient, someone who comes and goes, someone who's not permanent here. And I don't see how any Fijian can be a guest in Fiji.
Shamima Ali says such comments are offensive and an apology is appropriate for Ratu Naingama given the impact of the comment in a multiracial country like Fiji. Ali Kimbia, FBC News.
Students will have to finish Year 13 studies if they want to qualify for the National Toppers Scheme from 2021. According to the policy change in the new budget, foundation students will no longer qualify for the scholarship. Ritika Pratap reports the Tertiary Scholarship Loans Board to ensure that everyone has an equal chance of earning a scholarship.
The TSL board believes most students are opting for foundation studies because they are easier than passing the Year 13 exams.
A lot more students are taking the foundation route because they can see that this is possibly a better route to take to get a National Topper Scholarship. Whereas I think the students who studied under Year 13, their exams are a little more rigid, and many of them are actually star students from poorer families who cannot afford to go to study at the university and paying high fees. And we felt that that was unfair.
SETO says it's an anomaly where students opt for foundation studies to score a much higher GPA, which entitles them for a scholarship at the cost of Year 13 students.
There should be a level playing field where the grades and the marks should be synchronized and the study levels should be synchronized so that when the grades are achieved, that they are on the same basis.
The Fiji Higher Education Commission, while welcoming the decision, suggests students should make well-advised career choices.
Some students get a bit disappointed because they score very high marks in the external examinations, but opted for programs that are not under the national priority areas, thus missing out on the National Toppers Scheme. It is therefore vital for career teachers, parents, and school counselors to advise students accordingly in this area.
There are currently 2,800 students studying under the National Toppers Scheme. Ritika Pratap, FBC News.
Up ahead, lack of draftsmen affects designing, and jaywalking rears ugly head again. Details after the break.
Bola, go minuni mereka-raki untuk terletak di warung Nembula FM, namun dua neser.
Nimbula, ayaw meli, nawatitiu may mataniway, ando talita ka na warong Nembula FM.
Untuk kami nabi series Nembula FM, namun dua neser isu. Ini sambol binakan lebih biti, go ngalo tahun di Lebemba. Nganggo emosi balen roka-roka untuk talita ka na warung Nembula FM.
Bula FM, number 2 NSR.
Bula FM, number 2 NSR.
With the expected expansion and construction over the next few years, the president of the Fiji Building and Designers Association has revealed that there is a shortage of qualified draftsmen in Fiji. Association President Shailendra Mudlia says the shortage continues to be a challenge because the universities don't offer high levels of qualification in this field. Kritika Kumar reports.
The Fiji Building and Designers Association president says current designers lack creativity.
There's a lack of creativeness in our designers. They're trying to copy each other. So we're trying to eliminate all those things. This is one of the main issues we talked about, like copying each other's work.
Designing is a field which needs experience as buildings need in-depth planning.
Sometimes the people who graduated from FIT, they just try to open their own firm, where we try to encourage them to go and work for some companies for years or months or something, so they get more experience and exposure.
There are also calls for the current courses offered at universities to be upgraded.
The current skills of building designers, we need better training, we need product knowledge, we need to understand the compliance requirements. We need to adhere to that, and definitely education is a plus point.
The association is liaising with Design Association of New Zealand to provide workshops in Fiji. They are also working on registering students so that their knowledge about the sector is enhanced and they gain experience. Kritika Kumar, FBC News.
Following the spate of robberies in the newly developed Tadirua subdivision in Nasinu, residents are now calling for more police patrols in the area. 6 houses were broken into in just a week, and more than $20,000 worth of cash, jewellery and groceries have been stolen. Pranita Prakash reports.
The residents in this area have revived their crime prevention committee and are willing to work with police to carry out night patrols.
We formed our patrol teams, which used to patrol from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. And I think we'll continue with that. With the support, if our officer can also accompany us, because at the end of the day, if we individuals, community members, we form a group and we try to patrol, and the next question comes is, what happens to our safety?
A resident, Uwate Vaklaloma, says they are even willing to assist and put up a police post in this area.
Community is willingly to contribute in building of that police post. So the only thing, if we are allowed to that, we are very much willing to contribute, like buying the material to construct that police post. So that the only thing we want is the police officer just to stay close by.
Police spokesperson Anane Soro says they welcome the effort of the residents to fight against crime.
Any form of assistance is always greatly appreciated, and if they need to liaise more closely with either headquarters or, they do have the Division of Police Commander South that is there, but if they need assistance from headquarters, we'll be, our doors are open. So we really do appreciate and welcome any form of support.
Break-ins in this area have occurred between 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. and the residents believe culprits are monitoring the movements of the victims. Meanwhile, police confirms they have received reports and are now looking into the matter. Pranita Prakash, FBC News.
Minister for Transport Chonu Sumate has called on relevant authorities to step up their work on policing jaywalking on our roads. The current law states pedestrians must cross a roadway at a traffic light or zebra crossing if within 20 metres of one, but otherwise can cross the road when it's safe to. Jaywalking by ignoring traffic signals or marked crossings is becoming a safety concern for drivers, especially in major towns and cities. Koroi Tandalala reports.
Usamate is also calling on towns and city councils to help relevant authorities to take action enforcing the rules.
Hopefully, if it's happening also in local governments, city councils and towns, those local government officials need to take action with, and even police. Hopefully the police can contribute. This is one of the problems that we have in Fiji about compliance. Once a legislation is made, it needs to be complied with. So enforcement officers need to make sure that these things are complied with.
Drivers also raised their concerns about people crossing the road where there are no traffic lights or crosswalks, increasing the risk of vehicle-pedestrian accidents.
The problem is people don't really pay close attention when crossing the road. If someone gets into an accident for no fault of ours, we are the ones who end up getting arrested and blamed while these jaywalkers go on free.
You see somebody crossing the road, it's very difficult to stop. Because we as human beings, we can stop all of a sudden, but the vehicle takes time. LTA and police, they can't do much. It's we, the people who are crossing the road. It's our life, and we have to take care of it.
For parents, it's really important to keep a close eye on their children because most of the time these jaywalking cases involves our young ones, simply because we weren't paying attention.
The Minister of Transport is urging law enforcers to monitor pedestrian traffic and ensure the public is complying with the law and find those who are breaking the rules. Kurai Tandulala, FBC News.
Lawyer Rajendra Chaudhry, who resides in Auckland, New Zealand, has appealed against his imprisonment sentence. Chaudhry was sentenced to 15 months imprisonment and also ordered to pay a fine of $50,000 by the Civil High Court in Suva for making comments against the judiciary on social media. Chaudhry was found guilty of contempt of court in April and was sentenced in May. The Attorney General's office has made an application for the order to stay pending appeal in the High Court. Chaudhry's lawyer has sought 7 days' time to file the response to affidavits filed by the AG's office. The matter has been adjourned to August 8th to fix a hearing date. The trial dates of 2 employees of the Fiji Corrections Service charged with abuse of office has been vacated to October. Former FCS Commissioner Ifiremi Vasu and Acting Deputy Commissioner Peniasi Kunatumba are charged by the Fiji Independent Commission Against Corruption. The High Court says, with 16 witnesses to be called during the trial, this is one reason behind changing the trial dates. Vasu is charged with 1 count of abuse of office for allegedly facilitating and approving the purchase of goods worth over $131,000 from the Namboro Mini-Mart in which he was a company director. Kunatumba is also charged with 1 count of abuse of office for allegedly facilitating and approving the purchase of goods worth $54,000. And now it's business time with Rachel.
Thanks, Jackie. Good evening, and coming up after the break. Shipping services contracts on the table. And in growing Fiji, Rewa River water supply consultation continues. Stay with us.
Hi, Bula. I'm Selai from Nandi. I love Gold FM. Only the classic hits.
Hi, my name is Sotiana here in Ba. We love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Bula, I'm Miri. I'm from Lotoka and I love Gold FM because they play all my classic hits.
Hi, my name is Fiona from Tavua and I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Hi, I'm Ini from Rakiraki. I love Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Leading business tonight, shipping companies willing to service profitable and non-profitable routes will be given a 15-year contract by the Transport Ministry. Minister Chane Samate says the aim is to improve shipping services to the maritime islands. As Savaratambo reports, this will be included in the ship's franchise scheme currently being revised by the ministry.
Shipping companies are using old and deteriorated ships to service the so-called uneconomical routes, and the Transport Ministry wants this to change.
So when you have a 10 or 15-year contract, you know I've got the business for the next 10 years. I can then use this contract. It encourages me to go and get a better ship, not to get an old ship.
The minister says that they are also looking at revising the subsidies given to the shipping companies. Meanwhile, Interlink Shipping Limited is hoping that sea route licensing will be given that will help to improve services as well.
That will be coming into effect shortly. I think the MCF and the Ministry for Transport are being consultation at the moment and will be coming into effect shortly.
Concerns are often raised by the travelling public on shipping services in the country, and the government assures plans are in place to solve this as soon as possible. Sabara Tambua, FBC News.
The Australian dollar was in the spotlight today, and to tell us all about it, here's Sanifa from the HFC Bank.
The Australian dollar nest wounds today after it posted its biggest one-day fall in more than 2 months ahead of an expected central bank easing. Meanwhile, improved risk appetite supported the greenback. Investor focus has shifted to the Reserve Bank of Australia, which is tipped to lower interest rates by 25 basis points to a record low of 1% at a meeting later today. The US dollar index remains near its highest in a week as sentiment picks up following an agreement between the United States and China to resume talks to resolve their trade war. This all leaves the euro mired at its lowest level in more than a week, as disappointing economic data triggered a fall in bond yields and boosted expectations for a central bank rate cut in common currency bloc. That's all from HFC Bank for now. Vinaka.
Thanks, Anipa. On to today's exchange rates as it was set this morning. With all the unexpected international events influencing foreign exchange, the Fiji dollar rose against the Chinese yuan as well as the US greenback and the PNG kina and the Japanese yen, but lost a little ground against the Aussie and Kiwi dollars as well as the euro. Commodity prices were on the descent today. Oil prices dropped for the first time in days to close at $58 per barrel. Gold was down slightly at $1,389 per ounce, and silver closed lower at $15.16 per ounce. And in growing Fiji tonight, consultations are currently ongoing with communities in the Sewanee-Neitasiri area regarding the Rewa River water supply scheme. The Water Authority says it's important villagers are aware of the project as it will benefit 300,000 people living within the Suva-Nosori corridor. Kalivadala reports.
There's been a lot of positive feedback on the Rewa River water supply scheme, which was signed by Prime Minister Vorengen Bainimarama in April.
Extremely grateful for the awareness and consultations that has been done for the development of our water supply.
Thank you for holding talks with us and informing us about the upcoming water project that will benefit the public.
The Water Authority says they will be holding more consultations on the $262 million project in coming days.
And it is only proper that we engage the community as well as the villagers, as many of them are the rightful owners of the resources and the land. And that is the whole purpose of this activity, to go out and to speak to them and to create more awareness so that they are informed of the works that will soon take place within the area.
After signing the 2 contracts for the water supply scheme earlier this year, the PM said its construction and operation will also create jobs. The Rewa River water project breaks ground later this month and is expected to take 2 to 3 years to complete. Kalivadala, FBC News.
And that's business for tonight. Sports is up next with Jamie.
Thank you, Rachel, and good evening. Coming up, McKee says he won't be impressed easily.
My name is Neha and I'm from Kadavi, and Mirchi FM it's hot. हम आचल नसोरी से मिर्ची FM बहुत जुलूम.
Hi, हम शायर प्रकाश बात करते हैं तावा में मिर्ची FM सबकंसन and मिर्ची FM it's hot.
Hi, my name is Prashant. I live in Suva. I love Mirchi FM because Mirchi FM it's hot.
Hi, I'm Shane. I love listening Mirchi FM because it's awesome and it's hot.
Hi, I'm Rachel.
And I'm Shavi. We love listening to Mirchi FM in Lambasa.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
The message to the Flying Fijians extended squad from coach John McKee is clear. Work hard and you'll earn a spot to the Rugby World Cup. McKee believes natural ability will only take a player so far, but if they are to achieve something special in Tokyo, a strong foundation needs to be laid now. Apinisa Wangai Rondovu with this report.
12 weeks of training has started, and for a good World Cup finish, the coach has called for team unity while at camp, adding that commitment has been a core to the team's success in the past.
I really believe that, with commitment and hard work across this 12-week program we have before we play Australia and Sapporo, that this team can really achieve some great things. But, it's going to come down to, talent is one thing, talent will get you so far. I mean, ultimately it's going to be about hard work.
The Fiji Airways Flying Fijians started off well in training this morning, braving the heat at Albert Park. Captain Domenico Wangarimboroto says the players know what's required of them and they must perform to that level.
For me, personally, focus on one game at a time. We work on our getting the boys together, to gel together first, and then we build up from there.
The Flying Fijians will take on the Maori All Blacks next Saturday at the ANZ Stadium in Suva. Apinisa Wangrandovu, FBC Sports.
Former Vijayana ref Vinyani Riwai will feature for the national women's football team at the Pacific Games in Samoa. A member of the Fiji women's rugby team to the 2016 Olympics, Riwai is adamant of achieving something special with Fiji football. Niraj Maharaj reports.
Having played football for more than 15 years before joining the Fijiana Sevens, it was natural for Riwai to switch codes.
I feel honored and happy to be part of the women's team, and I'm so glad to be back.
The Vakanrove native says the national women's team has a lot of potential and she feels it can achieve the ultimate goal of gold in the games.
It's the passion. I love football since I started with football, and my dream is to at least give something back to Fiji football before I retire.
Women's head coach Marika Rondo says Riwai could have easily won a rugby gold medal with Fijiana, but she chose football instead.
It's a decision that was personally, her personal decision. I think when you look at it, Fijiana would have been in a position to win gold very easily in this Pacific game. If I was her, I would have chosen to be with the Fijiana team. But he chose to be with us. That shows she wants to achieve something special with his team.
Meanwhile, the national women's football team departs for Samoa on July 5th. Neeraj Maharaj, FBC Sports.
Fiji Pearls goal shooter Matila Vodea is ready for the challenge they'll face at the Netball World Cup. Vodea was part of the Fiji Pearls side that played in the recent Cadbury Netball Series in New Zealand.
What I've learned so far is that throughout the game, just never give up. Yeah, they might be a tough team, but we should just believe in the girls that we'll do our jobs. We'll just keep improving each game.
To the Cricket World Cup, West Indies fell 23 runs short of a record World Cup run chase against Sri Lanka this morning. Both teams began the match knowing they could not qualify for the semi-finals, but produced a classic encounter. Arsenal transfer target Wilfred Zaha scored as Ivory Coast moved up into the last 16 of the Africa Cup of Nations with a thumping 4-1 win over Namibia. This was one of 4 matches played today as the Ivorians showed sheer class. In other matches, Morocco beat South Africa 1-0, Senegal thumped Kenya 3-0, and Algeria were 3-0 winners over Tanzania. The Wimbledon tennis tournament has produced the upset of the ages. 15-year-old American qualifier Corey Goff caused a stunning upset by defeating 5-time Wimbledon champion Venus Williams in the first round. Goff is ranked world number 313. And in today's Play of the Day, we take a look at some of the rather unusual things that happened on the first day of the Wimbledon Championships. That's it from sports tonight. Up ahead in new media, check out the coffee shop with a robot barista. Details after the break.
रहता है, हमारा नाम उमेश कुमार, हम रहता है लेबू और रेडियो फीजी में हरदम सुनता है, बहुत पुराना गाना लगे और बहुत रोज सुनता है, बहुत अच्छा लगे हमको।
उमेश चंद्रा और कांता चंद्रा हमारा वाइफ है। हम लोग रेडियो फीजी 2 बहुत सुंदर से सुनता है, बहुत अच्छा प्रोग्राम, नंबर 1 रेडियो।
कुमार स्वामी नायक है, गोमगो लेबू लटोका, रेडियो फीजी 2 में पुराना गाना लगे, हमें बहुत अच्छा लगे।
कुमार नाकाफी में रहता है, रेडियो फीजी 2 सुनता है।
रेडियो फीजी 2, देश की धड़कन।
A coffee shop in Seoul has a robot barista taking orders remotely through a mobile app or kiosk cashier and then brews fresh coffee. It's weather time now with Angie.
Hello there and welcome to the Weather World. The conditions are normalizing now. Isn't that a good deal? I mean, if you live around the Suva area, 2 straight days of rain is always called a weekend. I'm glad rain spared us for a while, but checking the other centers out, in the west, the western side had brighter spells, just the one where you could brush off your tension and lay on the white sandy beach. Can you imagine that? Eastwards from Pakhawa to Suva, quite sunny and humid on the same note. Rain hasn't been in the picture but might come around for a visit by overnight. And up north, sunshine is a bliss unbeatable. For the tides, low tide at 12:13 a.m. with high tide at 6:27 a.m. Sunrise at 6:38. For tomorrow, after some moderate amount of sunshine, rain will swing by. Tomorrow's temps, major centers will be cool in the higher 20s. And looking further on to Thursday, few light showers indicated for the Eastern Division. Alas, enjoy the rest of the week. And that's all from the FBC Weather World. Jackie.
Thanks so much for that, Angie. In Fijian Pulse tonight, we asked, should police increase patrols in residential areas?
It should be there. The police should be there always because to safety of the people. Because nowadays more rape, everything is going around. It's not good, really not good.
There should be more police patrol in the residential areas because there's more robbery going on. Just like yesterday, I saw the news around the Tadruya village. There should be more police officers.
There should be, even they should be putting in some more police posts around the area so that people are more safe and they don't fear their life.
There's a lot of robberies happening, so I think there should be more police patrol.
In the world of the weird and the wonderful, we show you the Manor Farm Charitable Trust, a sanctuary for disabled animals in England. The owners tend to care for arthritic sheep, geese with dietary issues, elderly poultry and other disabled livestock. The eclectic farmhouses, 170 animals who need extra love and attention to thrive. Recapping the main stories for tonight, Let's Think Future says Mbaini Marama, man appears in court over woman's death and compliant companies to provide shipping services. Now for these stories and others, tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. Our poll question segment this week we're asking, do you agree with Sidelpa that non-Ithauke Fijian citizens are Vulangi? Visit our FBC website to answer. And our shot of the day comes from the Coral Coast. The pristine surroundings of Singatoka such as this is a reason we get thousands of tourists to our shores each year. You can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj. Share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. Follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or hashtag FBC News. From the team and I, good night.
Natango merea maramani waya manatuya sawa aweti kitunde nandi ya undo marata kana baronga na radio Fijuan.
Yao asna vatili yao maga Monica. Tondo baronga vale bunar domai biti lambasa.
Bula natango aprosa ngarse ngor kraki do talebe ono baronga na radio Fijuan na domi